Dedicated Red Cross responders deserve to be backed up by systems that support and enable them. And today, we're introducing DCSOps.org, the new scheduling system that we've built from the ground up to support you better. Whenever it can, DCSOps is designed to pull information from other systems that already exist. There are no new usernames or passwords because DCSOps logs in with existing Volunteer Connection credentials. It also pulls contact preferences and other information from within Volunteer Connection. Once the information is correct in one place, it's correct everywhere. If you're ready to dive in, let's go through how to get yourself set up in DCSOps. The first step is to get some information set up in Volunteer Connection. That way, it's accessible to everyone in the region who might need to get in contact with you, disaster services, and beyond. We'll start by logging into Volunteer Connection at volunteerconnection.redcross.org. If you don't know your login information, use the Forgot Your Password link. During this tutorial, I'm going to be using an account for a fictional user named Activity Lead. Once we're in Volunteer Connection, click on My Profile here at the top of the page. Your profile is a summary of all the information that Volunteer Connection knows about you. To update this information, we'll click Edit Profile. In your Edit Profile screen, scroll down to the sections called Primary Address and Contact Information. There are a lot of sections of your profile, but these are the only two that we'll need for DCSOps. Click once on each section to open it and show the fields that we need to update. In the Primary Address section, make sure that your address type, address, city, state, county, and zip code are all correct. In the Contact Information section, make sure that your email address, any phone numbers disaster services might need to use to contact you, and the order we should call those phones are all filled in. Once you've entered all that information, scroll to the bottom and click Submit to save it. Depending on the information in your profile, it may ask that you correct other pieces of profile data before you leave the Edit Profile page. Follow any directions that appear to update other information as needed. When your information is saved, you will be sent back to the main My Profile view. Our last task in Volunteer Connection is to make sure that your positions, gaps, and qualifications are all correct. You won't be able to update this information yourself, but if anything is missing, you can submit a request that it be corrected. To see this information, click on the ARC Qualifications tab of your profile and scroll down to see the section called Qualifications, Group Activity Position, and Positions. In the Qualifications section, it should note if you're an IRV driver or a CAS user. If you have other licenses or specialty tracks, they may be listed here as well. If you are a member of the DSHR system, the Group Activity Position section should contain any gaps that you have trained for. In the Positions section, each of the positions you fill locally should appear. Pay particular attention to your DAT-related positions, since DCSOps will use your positions to decide what shifts you can sign up for. DCSOps is a website like Volunteer Connection that can be accessed from anywhere. To get to the scheduler, go to DCSOps.org in your web browser. At the login screen, enter the same username and password you use for Volunteer Connection. You don't need to remember any new set of login information. Once you've logged in, you'll end up at the DCSOps homepage. For this tutorial, we'll go to the DAT Scheduler. In the center of the main scheduling page, there's a section called Calendar Details. For each of the months your administrator has opened scheduling, you can sign up for shifts and see a choice of county schedule views. When you sign up for a shift on the calendar, you're committing to being available for a particular day, time, and position. If there is an event during that time, you will be part of the first team to be notified, and you are strongly expected to respond. At the bottom of the page is an outline of the flex scheduling options. Flex scheduling lets you indicate times when you're generally available for a response without committing to a specific role or shift. If you have flex availability for when an incident occurs, you'll be called if the first team of responders needs more people or resources. We hope that you'll be available during the times that you have flexibility, but if you turn out not to be, you're not expected to drop everything and respond. In the farthest left column, you'll find reminders of your upcoming shifts and a link to update your contact information and reminder preferences. Let's start out by signing up for a shift. I know that right now we're scheduling for July, so I'm going to go to the center column of the page and click on Sign Up under July. At the top of the Sign Up page, you'll see options controlling which shifts you see and how your calendar looks. As long as you're only hoping to sign up for shifts, you can leave all of these alone. All of your shift signups are done on the calendar that appears lower down on this page. Each day of the calendar is divided into sections for the day shift and the night shift. Within each time slot, each position that is available for sign up gets its own line. If another team member has already signed up for that shift, their name appears next to it. If the shift is still available, there is an empty checkbox. To sign up for a shift, just check the box for that position and time. A couple of moments later, that shift will turn yellow to show that your sign up has been saved, and your name will appear next to the shift. If you want to unsign up from a shift, just uncheck the box. Everything is saved automatically. There is no need to hit any save button. To sign up for the month's shifts, go through that month's calendar and check the box for each shift you can commit to. When you're done, click on DAT Scheduling at the top to go back to the main DAT Scheduling homepage. Now that you've signed up for committed shifts, let's enter your flex availability. From the DAT Scheduler homepage, click on Edit next to where it says Your Shift Availability. By default, you are marked as not available for all of your flex availability blocks, which is shown here by all of your availability blocks saying no. To change that no to a yes, and to indicate your willingness to respond, click on the text of that block. In the pop-up that opens, choose Yes from the drop-down, then click the blue checkbox to save. You'll see that your flex availability for that block has changed to say yes. When you've changed your flex availability for all the times you are free to read yes, click on DAT Dispatch to go back to the main scheduling homepage. You'll see that all of the blocks you indicated availability for now say yes on a green background. Once you've signed up for shifts, it's time to customize your call and reminder preferences. From the DAT Scheduler homepage, click on Edit Contact Details in the left-hand column. This page shows the information that has been synced from Volunteer Connection, so if you just changed any of your information there, it may take up to 24 hours to appear in DCSOps. At the bottom of the page, there are options to control whether you receive text messages to any of your phone numbers, and whether there are any numbers that disaster services shouldn't call when recruiting you for a response. To receive text messages on any of the phone numbers here, click on the link that says Don't Send SMS to this number. In the box that pops up, select your cell phone company from the drop-down and click the blue checkbox to save. If you don't want to receive text messages to any phone, you don't have to do anything at all. To choose not to receive DAT calls on one of your phone numbers, follow the same process by clicking on the link that says Call this number for disasters, choosing the Don't Call this number option, and clicking the blue checkbox. When you're done here, click on DAT Scheduler at the top to go back to the main page. Once you've chosen any phone number preferences, we can move on to our last step, choosing what shift reminders you get. On the main DAT Scheduler screen, click on the link that says Update Reminder Preferences. In the Shift section at the top of this page, you can choose whether to receive calendar invites or an email when another team member wants to swap shifts. In the Email section, you can choose whether to receive email reminders before each of your shifts starts. If you set up text messaging back on the Edit Contact Details page, you can also choose to receive text message reminders of your shifts in the Text Messages section. When you've set up each of these options, click DAT Scheduler to go back to the main scheduling homepage. Congratulations! That's the new DAT scheduling system. This may feel like a lot of setup to do, but most of what we just saw you'll only have to do once. Now that DCSOps knows who you are and how to get in touch with you, All you'll have to do each month is sign in and sign up for Shift.